Hello everybody and welcome to Comic Time. I am Rainbow Red Panda and this is a fully dressed Norton. He's completely back after a few weeks of being a slacker bunny. And today we have lots of comic books from the comic book store. A little bit bigger than normal, but it's not the biggest it has been, so we'll get into it. The first book is something that came out, I believe, last week. And I left it in my pull because I wasn't sure if I had bought the first one. I know I looked at it, but I don't know if I actually committed to it. So this is Big Trouble in Little China #2. I have to still check and see if I have the first one. And if I don't, I'll have to go and get it, because now that I have the second one, I have to read the series. So have to see about that. We have Adventure Time, The Banana Guard Academy #1. This automatically, Banana Guard Academy, it makes me think of Umbrella Academy, and I'm so ready for the third one to come out. Hopefully it comes out this year, but no official announcement on that yet. Next, we have the Original Sin books that came out this week, and I've been trying my best to catch up on Original Sin. I am almost as caught up as I can be. I'm missing one of the books, and so I can't read this next one really until I get it. I'm missing Original Sins #2. Somehow I did not get it. And Original Sins #3 came out this week. So I really liked the first one. Original Sin, I think, in my opinion at least, it's shaping up to be a good event. The tie-ins, for the most part, deal with the Original Sin. They're not necessarily mandatory. If you don't read the tie-ins, I don't think that you're going to be confused with what's going on in Original Sin, just the title itself. This is sort of a continuation on something that happened in the Original Sin book. The Watcher's Eye sort of exploded, detonated, whatever, sort of like basically an eye bomb. And whenever that happened, everyone in its detonation zone experienced memories of sins of various superheroes. Thor found out that he has a sister. Somehow Tony Stark has infuriated the Hulk. No one's really sure what that's about yet, but everyone sort of had a sin that came out, and except for Nick Fury, who he's trying to figure out why he didn't have anything, because he didn't get any visions or anything, and he really doesn't know why. So this book, this series, follows different heroes. Every book has a different storyline. So this one has the Inhumans, the Young Avengers, and J. Jonah Jameson. So this book will tell you sort of either what they envisioned or what like an innocent bystander envisioned, and then tracked them down to ask them a question about, or something like that. So I think it's really good. Usually I don't like books that have multiple stories and multiple authors and artists and all of that. Usually I don't like that. I don't like any of DC's really. I think I've stopped getting all of the ones that DC has like that. I like the like AVX and A+X for the most part titles whenever they do those every once in a while, but this is one that I do like. So it's only a 5-part series, so I mean it's not like a long-term commitment, but I like it, and it does go well with Original Sin. The tie-ins we have, I mentioned Thor has a sister. We have Thor and Loki, the 10th Realm #1. This, I believe, is the sister. So everyone gets to sort of figure out what's going on. This is like a 5-part series, so it's going to be interesting to see what goes on with that. We have Avengers #32. This is the only tie-in that I've read so far that, so far in #30 and in 31, I love this story. I think it's awesome. It follows sort of dealing with the Infinity Gems, and I like that, but so far I don't understand what it has to do with Original Sin. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't really understand what it has to do with it. It's a good story though. Like I'm glad that I'm reading it, because I do like the story and all of that, but so far it hasn't exactly tied in with Original Sin like the other tie-ins have. So I don't know if I just missed something or what, but that came out. And then we have Deadpool 31, and Deadpool actually ties in a lot better than I thought it would. I really like it, and I'm excited to read this issue and figure out what's going on with it. So that's all for the Original Sin part of Comic Time. We have Amazing X-Men #9, which this is part 2 of the arc as well. And I really I've sort of caught up on Amazing X-Men over the last week, and I really like this title. I think it's in my top 3 X-Men titles right now. I don't know what the other ones are at the moment, so don't ask. But I really like it. At first, I wasn't expecting to like it. I was just like, okay, it's X-Men, so I'm going to check it out. But it's growing on me more and more with each issue. So hopefully it continues to do that, because it's really awesome whenever you're like very captivated with your comics. We have X number 15, which I'm a little bit behind on X, so I'm not really sure what's going down with this exactly, but it looks good, and I haven't read anything of this that I didn't like, so we'll see. We have Justice League Canada number 3, which I find this funny. Justice League went to Canada. They announced like a long time ago that this was going to happen, and now all of a sudden, like, everyone's in Canada. Like, X-Men are in Canada, Justice League's in Canada. Like, basically all superheroes are in Canada now. It's a thing. Like, they just pick a part of the world and they just all go there at the same time. But yeah, because it's Marvel and DC, you know, no one ever sees each other, because, you know, that just can't be a thing. But somehow all of the superheroes are in Canada because of the Justice League. So that's happening. We have Ghosted number 11. I'm not quite sure about this cover, but I like the title, so I'm excited to read it. We have Coffin Hill number 9, which I still have to read number 8. I'm not gonna lie, I have 2 copies of number 8 due to mix-ups on my part. But I don't know, I'm gonna read it. I really like the Coffin Hill series. I think it's one of my favorite Vertigo series that's out right now. I'm just a little behind. We have Abe Sapien number 14, which I really like Abe Sapien. We have X-Force number 7, which I like this cover, but I can't decide. I feel almost like it's a cover that like you're supposed to have 3D glasses to wear or something, because like it's sort of blurry, and like I feel like if you just put on glasses and you're able to see in 3D, that it would look better. But I don't think that's actually how it is. It's how it looks. So I almost think that if it was one of those like covers that DC had during Villains Month, one of like the holographic ones, I think it would look a lot better. We have Amazing Spider-Man Learning to Crawl 1.3. So I'm excited to read this. I am actually caught up on the Learning to Crawl series, so I'm excited to read that one. We have Rise of the Magi number 2, which I always feel like this is further along than it is, but it's because it had an issue number 0 that came out on Free Comic Book Day, and I read it, and in my mind that was issue number 1. So I feel like this should be issue number 3, but it's only issue number 2. And I really, really like this. At first, with issue 0, I wasn't sure what I was getting into. Number 1, I liked it a little bit better. I think this is going to be one of those comics where each issue I like it more and more. So it wasn't bad to begin with, but it wasn't like mind-blowing either. But it improves with every issue, and I really like that in a series. We have The United States of Murder, Inc. number 3. It is a Marvel title, but you won't know it unless you read the fine print on the inside. It is a Brian Michael Bendis title, and I kind of like it for the most part too. I really wasn't expecting to like it, but I think of all of Bendis' work that's out right now, it's one of my more favorites, and it's probably because it's not like a typical superhero stuff, which is what I normally read from him. These are like sort of all original characters. The artwork isn't necessarily my favorite, but it's different, and for a Marvel book, it's not something that you see in Marvel, so I like that. I like that they let him expand and branch out with this, so I like it. We have The Winter Soldier number 5, so that's exciting. It's basically the end of the first arc, so the first arc of Winter Soldier is done with this issue. We have All New X-Men number 29, which I really liked this title whenever it came out. Sometimes it has its good parts and it has its bad parts, but this is a Bendis title and he works on so many things, so that could be why. But I think I'm gonna like this. I think I like the arc that's going on right now, so I'm excited for it. And then of course you open it up and it's the Edge of Spider-Verse, and of course they're announcing, you know, Dan Slott and all of them. I'm like, no, Gerard Way's part of that. That's all that you need to announce, and I'm excited about it. We have Superman Wonder Woman number 10, which I really liked. Number 9. This was one of the ones that was part of the Superman Doomed thing that they had. I didn't read that. I'm guessing that this one isn't part of it because it doesn't have the doomed thing at the top. But they did that a lot with Infinity too, so I'm not sure if it's actually over or not. But it used to be, and I didn't read that. And no one like tried to convince me that I should. So I'm gonna say that it's okay if you didn't read it. Wolverine, number 10. We went from having 3 months to die to 2 months to die. So this is happening. I actually caught up on this yesterday, and it's pretty decent. It's pretty good. I'm excited for it. It's gonna be interesting to see where it goes. But all in all, it's a good series. New series that came out, Suicide Squad. They redid it. It's the new Suicide Squad. So that's out. I'm hoping that it's going to be decent. I like the artwork on it. So we have the addition of Joker's daughter on it and some other people. So, and I believe Amanda Waller is not going to be in charge this time. If I remember correctly, that's one of the new things that's different about it. We have Spider-Man 2099 number 1. I'm excited for this one. Spider-Man 2099 has been showing up in a lot of comics lately, and so you've been getting glimpses of him everywhere. And I really like seeing him. I've sort of gotten attached to him, so I like that he has his own series. We'll see if it sticks around. Probably after all the Spider-Man like hoopla dies down, they'll probably start cutting back on these Spider-Man things. I mean, we got to make room for more Guardians of the Galaxy because it only comes out like next month, which I'm so excited. So that's all going down. Another new one, we have Grayson, number 1. So I'm excited to read this one. I didn't ever read Nightwing because I fail at life. I'm going to, but once you tell me that you cancel something, it makes me not as likely to read it. But Tim Seeley writes this, and I really like Tim Seeley. And even if he didn't write it, I'm still going to read it. So I'm excited to read it. I've heard it's good, but I haven't read it yet, so don't spoil it for me, please. And then we have Nightcrawler, number 4. I really like this one. I really like Nightcrawler. I don't know why. I just really do. And he's in a lot of things. He's part of Amazing X-Men, so I like that because it's just Nightcrawler everywhere. And I'm excited. I don't know. I feel like I'm probably like the only person that thinks this, but I don't know. Like if there was a Nightcrawler movie, like I would support it. So just throwing that out there. We have Batman Eternal number 14. I am now, I think, 2 issues behind on Batman Eternal, and I need to catch up on those. I think it's like next on my reading list, actually, because it doesn't take long for a weekly series for you to be very much behind, so I need to catch up on this. We have Spider-Man number 1. It is the 100th anniversary. They just have this random thing, like all the Spider-Man titles, but now we're just going to have this big anniversary issue of things, and I'm excited to read it because I think it looks really cool, but I don't know that this was necessary. This is, once again, I think just Marvel's ploy of everyone's going to buy it, so we're just going to make them give us their money, but it worked. I bought it, so I'm guilty. We have Injustice Gods Among Us number 11, which I like this one. Harley Quinn's on the cover of this one, so that makes it even better, and also the Black Canary. It's on there too, so I'm excited to see how they play into this, so I'm excited. We have Constantine number 16. I really, really, really like this cover, so that makes me excited to read it. I like the series as well, but the cover is really cool. And then my top 3, it's actually difficult to pick a top 3 because ever since the week where I had to have a top 5 because all of my favorite comics came out on the same week, it's been so difficult to have a top 3 because it's like, it's just sort of missing like the amazing like book factor. And this was sort of the case this week. We have Deadpool, Dracula's Gauntlet number 1. It is in my top 3 because it's Deadpool and I love Deadpool and I'm really excited to read this, but it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure. I want to say that this is probably one of those that was like an online, like an e-reader book, but I could be wrong about that. I just know that it was at my shop, and so I got it, and that's all I know. Excited to read it, though. I just got caught up on like all of my Deadpool stuff, so I'm ready to read that. We have The Walking Dead number 129, which is shaping up to be very good. All Out War is over. Everyone's sort of rebuilding. Carl is starting things, so all of that's going on. I'm excited to read it, and we'll see what happens. We'll see if it keeps up its awesomeness. So far, I have not been disappointed at a single issue of The Walking Dead since I've been reading it monthly. I just got through, I think this is like the 12th issue or something that I've had of single issues, so I'm excited to read it, as always. And then my number 1, we have The Empty Man number 2. So I'm excited to read this, Cullen Bunn. It was not what I was expecting. The first one was not what I was expecting, but I really, really liked it, and I'm really excited to read this one as well. So that is my number 1 book of the week. So those are all the books that I got. I have to go this week and track down Big Trouble in Little China number 1 and Original Sins number 2, but that shouldn't be too difficult. So that's all I have to do. And then we have we have the muffins, because they're not cupcakes. They're blueberry muffins, and they're delicious and awesome and healthy-ish, because they're blueberry. The littlest one this week is going to a new comic book that has just been announced this week. I don't think that it's in previews or anything, so don't like rush out and go to your comic book store and like ask for it unless they can just write a note, because it's not in previews that I know of yet, but it will be coming out soon. It is by Sean Simon, who was part of the True Life of the Fabulous Killjoy series, which if you don't know that I love that series, then you don't watch my videos very often, and that's okay. But he has a new series coming out called Neverboy, and it looks like it's going to be really good. It's about like imaginary friends, and I know there's been a lot of comics about imaginary friends lately, but I don't know, like I've always loved imaginary friends, so I'm totally cool with this comic book. So that's coming out. This next Littlest Cup muffin, it is going to the Disney store, which I went to the Disney store yesterday in St. Louis, and they, since Marvel has been bought by Disney, they have a bunch of Marvel stuff in the Disney store. They also have a bunch of Disney stuff, but they have a lot of Marvel stuff as well. So I went in there, and they had a whole section dedicated to Guardians of the Galaxy, which I just thought was amazing, because while it's not exactly a kid's... This is, I probably should have thought about this. Guardians of the Galaxy, I wouldn't say is a kid's comic, but they want kids to at least know about it. And they had an awesome Rocket Raccoon and Groot shirt in like the little boys section, and I really, really wanted to get it, because I can totally wear little kid-sized clothing, but I couldn't commit to it because I felt a little weird about it. I might end up going back and getting it, but it was so awesome. So if you have little kids and they like Guardians of the Galaxy, go to the Disney store, because they have a whole section. So that's the thing. And then the biggest muffin is going to go to, I finally downloaded, I had to reset something on my phone, so I finally downloaded my first like app that wasn't free. It was only like 99 cents, so it wasn't super expensive. But if you haven't noticed from like a lot of past videos, I have an obsession with Bravest Warriors and Catbug and all that, and Catbug has an app. It's made by Federator, and it is called Fly Catbug Fly, and it's right here on my phone, and I love it. I play it all the time. I just got it yesterday, but I play it all the time, and it's really fun, and it's really cool, and I really like it. So it gets my biggest cupcake muffin, because I love Catbug, and you can't just get that game and not like tell everyone about it. So now you know about it. So go to the iTunes store or the Android store. I think it's available on both. So just go and get it and play it and love it forever, because it's really, I don't know, I really, really like it. So that's all the things. So this is Norton, and I'm Rainbow Red Panda, and we're gonna go probably play some more Catbug game, because we're addicted and we're not ashamed to admit that. So I will see you guys later. Bye.